In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a custom help pane component, what are the uses of it, and how you can create a better experience for your end user. Now, this is a very simple example. Now, I have a table named as hospitals in Australia, listing down all the column, hospital ID, created hospital name, location, capacity, and emergency services. Now, these are like just a simple example. I've created a model driven app out of it, and this is my model driven app. Now, if I go into one of the records, so if I go into, so let me pick up, say Royal Hobart Hospital. Now here, if I navigate to this, I can see various columns over here. Now if I hover my mouse over here, I can see that hospital ID, owner, hospital name. Now if I just hover the mouse over that particular component, it will just show me some tooltip, right? From where this tooltip is coming is we have already put it in description. Now let me show you where. So if I go to the table, and if I go into one of the columns, so named as hospital name. Okay, now if I go to hospital name, from here it is picking up this value, hospital name, right? And in the description, if I put in, this is the name of hospital. Now if you hover your mouse over here, it says description info, and I'll click on save. Okay, and let me refresh this. Now, if I hover my mouse over here, it is showing me the description. So that means the tooltip is basically coming from the description field. Now, I can put a whole bunch of description over there, right? But there is a limit to it. Now, let's check out the limit. What is the limit for hospital name column for me? Now, if you go inside this column again, go into this, I'll just copy paste it again multiple times, and I'll just put it in Notepad just to see what is the count it allows you to put in the text. So I'll just say no, go new, and it is allowing me 1,000 characters. Okay, so if I select this, it is showing me 1,000 characters. So 1,000 characters is the limit. I'll click on save, and till 1,000 characters, you can put in whatever information you want if you want to show it as a part of the tooltip. And I'll just refresh the screen, and it is showing me this value. Now there is another way through which you can show the tooltip. Now, if you see this question mark icon over here, if you click on it, it will give you this pane. And this is the pane whereby you can create a custom help for your specific application. Now, sometimes this may not be entirely visible. So if it is not visible, then what you need to do is like you need to go into the advanced settings and then turn on the custom pane. Now as the interface has changed, now if I click over here advanced settings, it is taking me to a model driven app rather than showing me the classic implementation of this particular screen. Under administration, and if you go to general, earlier in this section that option was available called as enable your custom help pane, but this has gone from here and it has gone into Power Platform. If you navigate to Power Platform Admin Center, and then if you go into specific environment and navigate to feature, then you should be able to see this section over here. It's called enable custom help panes, but I've seen that it is enabled in my environment. So what I'm going to do is I will be clicking on this, and I'll click on this three dots just to start authoring my help. So if I click on edit, now I can see various controls. So I can create a numbered list, I can create a bulleted list, I can insert a hyperlink, I can insert a balloon, coach mark, section, image, and video. So what I'll do, I'll first say talk about this section. So I'll just say hospital management system. Okay, and I'll just put some text around it. I'll just say put some text, right? So this is the text. Now I can put some bullet content as well. So if I just type in So I can have a bulleted list, like a numbered list, or I can have a bulleted list. So this is how you can play around with the text part of this particular section. Now we can also beautify further by adding a hyperlink. So if I want to add a hyperlink, I can just point it to, say, for time being, I'll just say google.com, Google Help. And remember, you need to put the protocol, so HTTPS, and then I'll say open a new window. I'll click on insert, and this is the hyperlink it has put. Now, there is something called a section. So I can create a separate section. So if I click on section and I'll call it as, uh, say, about controls, and I'll just say collapsed by default. And then I will add another section. I'll call it as about business rules. Okay, so depending on your need, you can add all these controls, and then within the control, you can add various content. So like this, I can add this text. So I can collapse it, expand it, and I can then go ahead and save this value. So let me save this value first. So let me save this, and this is the help which I can see. Now, if I load this page, if I go into one of the record, then if I click on this question mark, I should be able to see the help, and then I can, depending on the help, I will be able to decipher what these controls are, what are this form based out of, and how should I fill this form. So this is how we can draft it. Now, interestingly, if you edit this again, there is something called as balloon. So if I click on, say, balloon, so let me do one thing. Let me first remove this text, okay, and let me add a balloon, and I'll call this as link text. So link text, I'll just say owner, okay, and I'll drag to an element. Now, if I just drag this to an element of owner, okay, then in the title, I will just type in owner of this record, okay, and then I can put my own text. This is the owner of the record. You can use it to set permission, and then I'll just copy this text again, right? So this is how I will save this record. Now I'll click on insert, and I'll click on save. Now we have added a balloon control. This is a balloon control. So what happens is, if I click on this, if I click on this owner, if you want to know more about this owner field, watch what happens. It will point to that control, and then it will show a balloon. Okay. Now I have put some random text, but in your case, it will be limited to, say, 400 or 500 character, and in the screen, it will look really nice. And this just gives you an information about what that control does. Okay. So if the user is not aware of this control or how to fill the value, this will, instead of a tooltip which is hard coded to a specific column, you can use this to basically use a balloon control. Right now, again, let me go and edit. So we go over here, click on edit. Now we have seen balloon control. Now there is something called as a coach mark. Okay, so let me click here, and then I'll say insert coach mark. Now we need to specify where do you want to insert the coach mark. So if I click on capacity, okay, so this is one of the column, and I'll say capacity column indicates hospital seat beds, and I'll click on insert and click on save. Okay. Now if you see over here a capacity, if you just hover your mouse, you just see the tooltip. But if you click on this, then it will just give you a coach mark specifying that you need to do some activity on this. So this is like basically giving you that coach mark indication, right? So this is also one of the way through which you can guide the user, if you want to specify that, hey, this is the important thing which you need to fill in, or this is the instruction for filling out this particular column. And additionally, you can do other things as well. If I click on edit, then I can add an image, I can add a video, but all these things are pretty much simple. I'm not going to show you that, but you got the gist of it, right? Like how you can use this. Now, all good, you have done everything. how you can basically use this in the backend. Now, from a Power Apps perspective, if I go into Power Apps, and if we go into the tables for that specific environment, and if we go to all, and let me just search for help. So there is something called as a help page. Now, if I click on help page, this is a table basically in a read only mode, and it will store all the information. Now, this is the couple of tables which has that references. Okay, so as you see over here, these are like couple of items which has been created, and that's why it is showing me this value. So 18th of the 8th, this is updated. So the thing which we have created, it is available in this particular backend page. Now the help file which we have created under the context of a form. Okay, so if I am in this grid view list, and if I click on this, that information is gone. But if I go into any of the record and if I click on this, then I can see this information. So that means all the help pages are created at a grid level, means at a this level, grid level. If you go inside a form level, so you can create it at a form level. So I can create for all the records one help page, for a grid one page. So let me create that and show it to you. So I'll just grid page, just click on save. Okay. So we have two help pane now, one for grid page and one for the actual records. And if we go into a different table altogether, then you will not find that. So that means for every table, you need to create that custom help page, right? Now we have created one page for the grid over here. So if we go into the backend, like the backend which I showed you, I'll just click on refresh. Then you will be able to see one more record over here which I've just created. Now from a solution perspective, you can create a custom solution, and then from a solution you can add, click on add existing, more, other, and try finding out the information of help page. So if I click on help page, then it will list down all the help pages over here. Now this is a bit odd because you need to find out which help page which you have created, because it does not have that display name listed over here. And then you select that, and then you can add this in your solution. Now in this app, we have created custom help pane. So as you see over here, this is one of the help pane which we have created. Now, when you go into the solutions, what we have seen is that if I add existing help page, then I'm not able to select the name. I can't see the name over there, right? Now, why? It is because the display name is not created over here. Now, the the part which what we have done over here while creating a help pane is, we just go into the model driven app, we click on this question mark, and then we click here and edit. Now we can start adding content over here, right? This is the content, but then the name is bit hidden, it is somewhere here. So what you need to do whenever you create a custom page for the help pane, you just click over here, and this is the page name. So let me call this as hospital page. Okay, now this is basically the title. Okay, so if I click on save over here, so I have this hospital page listed over here. I know it is a bit hidden because if you click on edit, you don't know that you need to click over here and then it will appear. So what happens is, like, if you again go back into the solutions, and let me close this off, and then go to add existing, more, and if I click on this help page, then you should see the display name and the name listed over here. Okay, so this is like a bit of a gotcha you need to be careful about while provisioning the page. So whenever you create a page, make sure that when you click on edit, there is one section, one line before you start authoring your page, right? So this is how you basically set a title for that specific helping, right? So this is how you basically use this particular sections of custom help pane within your application, just to show some more information or make it a good customer experience for the user. Now that, say, take for example, if this is limited to say 1,000 characters, and the help pane which you have created, again it has say 1,000 character limit. Now if you want something more, then the alternative option is like dump all the information of the help in a specific custom help page. Okay, so what we can do, we can edit the model driven app, click on new and click on say custom page. If once you create a custom page, you can click on create custom page, and you can call it as help, and you can use this as a custom. It will come as a canvas app. Now within that canvas app you can paste whatever content you want as a part of the custom help page. Now remember, now this is like on basis of canvas app, so you're limited to control like text, multi-line text, those kind of things you can put. But if you want to have some rich text information, like say take for example, if I want to get all this information from a web page, then the other alternative approach is to just take whatever website you want, whichever is your organization's website. You can just say save as, and then you save it as an HTML file. And then once you have that HTML file, what you can do, you can go into the backend, and within the backend you can create a web resource. So if I click on web resource, you select that HTML file whatever is existing within your organization, put some display name, put those details, type as web page HTML, and once you have that HTML file created, then you will get a hyperlink. Once you get that hyperlink, you just say new and you point to that web resource, put a URL, whatever web page you have created. And once you have that web page created, you just say, let me select preview.html, and then I'll call it as preview help, and I'll click on add. And once that is done, you have this page created, right? So this is how you basically use the fourth option. So first option we saw is the description tooltip. Second is custom help pane. Third is creating a custom page. And the fourth one is basically pointing to a web resource HTML file within your environment. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use various techniques to create a help and create a better experience for your user. Thanks for watching.